Hey, it's Seekers Brad from RotoHeat here talking about Scott Miller, wide receiver, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what time it is. If you like the video, like the video. If you've enjoyed everything you've been seeing, hit the subscribe, the notification icon. Let's keep this conversation going. Stay up to date every time we go live. Wednesday nights we do a live stream. In the off season we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. During the season we got Sunday morning, some pregame stuff. We got DFS stuff. If you want to know when it's all going on, hit the subscribe and the notification icon. You can stay up to date.
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire.
Scott Miller, interesting kid out of Bowling Green. Jason Light, the Bucs GM, when he was coming out, was trying to kind of keep this kid under the radar. 4.3 speed, a productive wide receiver in college. We'll take a look at some of his NCAA stuff from stats.ncaa.org for those of you that want to fact check. I get my stats from the NCAA now. He had a really productive career at Bowling Green outside of his first year. His freshman season, he got targeted 7 times. Or he got 7 catches in his freshman season. But after that, the guy was averaging over 5 catches a game. Actually, in his sophomore and senior season, he was actually averaging over 6 catches a game. But he ended his career with 2,867 yards, 13.3 yards per reception, 23 touchdowns, and he was healthy. Outside of his senior season where he only played 11 games, he played 12 games, 10 games his freshman year. Obviously, as a freshman, he wasn't getting a ton of action. This kid is solid. He's productive. I know he's a smaller dude at 5'9", but when you're good, you're good. Talent and the hard work and the work ethic outweighs any of the downfalls of being a shorter player. The NFL, we see it all the time. Shorter guys are successful all over the place. I know there's always concerns about when you take a lot of hits and some of those things, but we've seen it with Miller so far in his college career, and when given the opportunity with the Bucs, he shines. Right now he's tied for second on the team in targets. He got targeted 6 times, and he was productive in week 1. 5 catches, 73 yards. That's 14.6 yards a catch. We know that Brady likes his safety blankets. He likes his tight ends, that are good, solid options. Look at O.J. Howard. Obviously, they got Gronk, but Howard shined this week. He likes his kind of safety net slot guy that kind of is all over the field and just gets where the defense isn't and sits down and waits for Brady to give them the ball. Miller does that, and he does it quickly. At 4.3 speed, this kid is moving, and he's got good change of direction. A lot of scouts didn't really take a look at him coming out. And a lot of folks, from what I've been able to gather, thought he was kind of an undrafted type guy, but Light took a chance on him, and he's paying dividends. This kid's solid. I know they got big names, Evans and Godwin and O.J. Howard and Gronk, and they've got Fournette and Rojo and all these different pieces, but this kid gets targeted. When he gets targeted, he makes the catch, and that's huge. Brady needs to know that he can trust his guys when he goes to them, and that's going to pay dividends. We think he's definitely a solid flex play in bye weeks. Now, obviously, he gets more of a bump if there's an injury ahead of him, of any of these options. So kind of the 1A, 1B, B options in Evans and Godwin and Howard and Gronk. If any of these guys get hurt, Miller becomes a beneficiary of that because he can do all the things. They can move him around. Now, obviously, we know Godwin plays some slot too, so Miller will get moved around outside, he'll get moved around inside. I bet, when they do some jet sweeps and some of these things out of the backfield, if they try to do some of that, they're going to bring him in, and he can do that because he's the fastest receiver they got. So what does that tell you? That tells you this is a guy you want to target. At least stash him on your team. Now that we've seen some injuries and some guys go down for the year, depending on how big your league is, put him at the back of your bench. Is this guy Edelman 2.0? I don't know. Edelman definitely had a lot of skills and a lot of things that we liked about him. And I think Miller is a very same mold type player, hard worker, guy that he's trustworthy. But I don't like to compare guys that type of way. I don't like to say this guy's like this guy. Miller is super fast. He's very good catching the ball. He's good at his routes. He's crisp and clean out of his breaks. He's a good change of direction kid. And the team trusts him. He was playing on 61% of the snaps last week. 61% is big when you are not the top option on your team. You're not even one of the top, probably 2-3 options on your team, but clearly second option on the team last week because of the way you know, and it's going to be based on schemes and what's going on. You know, the Saints are no slouch. They've got a solid defense, so they needed somebody that they can kind of move around and get into some of those soft spaces that the defense was giving them, and Miller did that, and he was a beneficiary. So keep an eye out. Definitely try to get him on your waiver wire if you can. Stash him. Could pay dividends. You know, we're seeing some of these receivers, Suttons of the world, and some of these guys that are hurting out or already hurt. Like Mike Williams was hurt, but he played week 1. You know, Debo obviously is out for a few weeks at least. You know, we've got receivers that are out, so you're going to need somebody that you can flex in a pinch, and I think Miller's that guy. So good luck. Let us know in the comments what you think about Miller. Are you a Miller truther? Are you out on Miller? Let's have that conversation. For those of you that are patrons, Sunday mornings, don't forget, right before game time, Rick goes live and he answers your questions, helps you do some last minute start sits and some of those things, and has that conversation. It's very interactive with the RotoHeat team. Rick will have special guests on there. I know Bryce was week 1. He'll have some other guys getting on there throughout the season. So if you're not a patron, why not? It's a super good deal, and you get an amazing amount of content for it. So thank you guys for everything you do to make RotoHeat great, and we will talk to you again soon.
Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.